Greetings, everyone. Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Hopefully, my co-host will be on in a little bit. Hopefully, we had problems last week, but if you see the title, it's about truth and what people are not being told in the UFO world, government world, Army, Navy, Marines, all the secret cover-up of everything that's important. All right, what I'm going to get into is things that I'll tell you that I can swear on myself that I experienced or worked with people that were actually proving things to me directly. Let's start off with one of the worst names in the UFO world, Mr. STEVEN Greer. He's the one that's trying to take people to Congress and come up with all these ideas, suggestions, and saying all this, a lot of stories and lies about the government. First off, he says all aliens are good. First big lie. Second of all, government's involved with a fake alien invasion. Another big lie. All right. He says Russians and China are the ones responsible for our UFOs over us. Another big lie. Remember, the first really big situation that happened was in 1952 when fleets of UFOs went over the White House. It happened twice in a week. Thousands of people saw it. All right. It was fleets of ships, not one UFO, a fleet of them, which has happened many times since and things like that. I got an actual audio tape of Edwards Air Force Base when two UFOs were over the base. And it took them an hour to get two jets to go there. And when they got there, they watched the UFOs go shooting out into space. I got a live recording of that. A friend of mine was inside the tower recording it when it happened. All right. I don't deal with lies. I don't deal with too many people at all. Never mind storytellers like STEVEN Greer. Everything he's talking about is twisted, or everything except the truth. Now he's talking about changing the world with free energy. No, that's not going to happen either. All right. We had free energy when I was 12 years old. By the time I was 14, we had a car that ran on water. By the time I was 25, we had a company called Better World Technologies, and the whole company was removed. There's a person in Zimbabwe producing a car that runs on nothing. All right. And he wants to sell the car cheaper than every other car. Well, we'll see. They already tried assassinating him twice. All right. We're in trouble in a lot of different ways. I'm going to throw a bunch of things in that aren't directly related to UFOs and aliens. It's called UN Agenda 30. All right. They're in stage 5, meaning one world order by 2030. It's not going to be Trump in charge of it either. 193 countries agreed on it a couple of years ago. All right. So it's in full swing. I mean, I'm not going to go into all the details about it, but it's real and it's going to really happen. Now, things you probably don't understand, believe in, or know much about: underground bases, underground cities. Why? Where? Everywhere in the United States. And they're manned by roughly 10,000 people in each one of them. And they can only take a certain amount more people if any major disaster happens, which is what they're prepared for and why they were built. The home of the New World Order is in the Ozark. The building's bigger than the White House. It's got a wall 6 or 7 feet wide. It's got their army troops going around it, protecting it already. And it wasn't even finished years ago when Jesse Ventura exposed it. All right. He exposed so many things. He was the one person that you could listen to what he said, because whatever he wanted to prove, he went out to prove it himself, or had his son prove it. Aliens, UFOs, HARP system, chemtrails, you name it. And he went out of his way to try to prove it or prove it fake. And he proved everything was real. All right. Now, on top of that, the whole UFO world has been changing. It changed from 1952, 1951, 1949. All right. Truman was first, then Eisenhower came in and created an organization in the government, secret organization called MJ-12. It is real, and they are in charge of covering up, hiding everything in the UFO world. All right, so when STEVEN Greer comes out and says, "Well, they offered him," and this is no lie, he said it. Only a complete something, I'm not going to say what he is, would say that the government offered him $3 billion to walk away from the UFO world. I have 16 friends personally taken out. They weren't paid. My ex-UFO partner that I worked with for years sold out, and he walked away from it. Now he's claiming to be a spiritual person, not a UFO person. All right. But the people that I knew, my best friend that I knew since I was 11 years old, worked for NASA. And after we showed him some UFO pictures, his whole family was taken out. All right. There's a person still alive in Long Island in a nut house. John Ford, pull it up. I saw his video. He was the only one that shot a crystal clear video of a ship crash that crashed in Long Island. And I went out to where it crashed. And it was definitely proof that a ship crashed there. I mean, the government surrounded it for 2 weeks, tried burning all the evidence, which they couldn't because the trees were all notched out and it looked like a runway in between it, about maybe 20 feet wide. When the ship came down, it was about maybe half a mile long. All right. Now, something you might not know, the police and the fire department can, hold on. Hoping my comes on. I hear clicking. I can't find her. All right, sorry about that. Let me see if she's in the private chat. Nope. All right. Well, all right. So when I was out there, I walked it, and the trees were all burnt, but there were notches at a certain level on all the trees. And they just said it was a fire burning. Long Island's flatland. There's no giant jungles and things like that to burn for 2 weeks. But during that whole time frame, black trailers were going in and out of it. Getting back to the police and the fire department, have in their files of laws that they have to abide by. They cannot go into a UFO sighting. They have to block off the area and call FEMA. All right, and that's a fact. And it's, my brother-in-law was a cop. He showed me it in the books as well. So that's just one little thing you should know. But now I'm going to get into everything that's not coming out. I hope my co-host knows when the show is. I told her. But again, we're going to start at the beginning, getting back to 1952 when the fleet went over the White House. Now, Eisenhower had a follow-through with MJ-12. And I mean, his granddaughter, Laura Eisenhower, claims a lot of things, including going to Mars with the president. I did a show with somebody, T.J. Morris, for 12 years. Her husband died. But in the interim, before he died, he confessed on a show multiple times, even right before he died, that he worked for the president. He was in Area 51, and so was T.J. Morris. But he actually flew a UFO for the president. I'm not going to go into all the details, but that's just people I worked with personally, friends. All right. Getting back to John Ford, even when I was going to go try to see him, after I watched his video, I have friends everywhere. So I was taken to a house party, a couple people, and it was FEMA. And they told me, don't even think about going near him with my family. I hear her, but I don't see her. Hold on, let me just try one more place. It's my Skype, they changed. Oh, get rid of that. I don't know where to find her. I hear somebody calling me, but I can't find where they're calling me from. That's pretty weird. Well, let's bypass that for now. She should know how to get into my site. Tina, if you can even hear this, if you're in the regular site, click on it, put a link in there, and I'll send you a link directly there if you can't get in. So, getting back to the important stuff we want to get into today. All right. I watched the video, and it was incredible. But they arrested him, and this is what happened. They arrested him saying he had a barrel of uranium, which is impossible. And he was and this was all over New York and New Jersey news for 2 days. He was going to put it in toothpaste of the politicians and kill them. I said, how do you take uranium and put it anywhere? You have a spacesuit on and everything else, and how do you move it? All those things. It was the most ridiculous thing that the government came up with to frame him. Well, they couldn't put him in jail, so they decided to put him in a nut house. But now he's been in a nut house since 1996. And 1996 was the year that was one of the worst years for the UFO world. A lot of speakers were killed, and I can say roughly 100. And 100 nuclear scientists were taken out as well that year. I'm talking worldwide. But we're way past that now. And we're to a point where people like STEVEN Greer is having meetings with Congress and trying to get them to bring out the truth and all that. The government can never tell you the truth about the UFO world. And they won't. They can't. If they told you they sold out humans to alien races, what kind of compassion would we have for the government? Zero. What would happen? It would be a major problem. So that's not going to happen. With STEVEN Greer trying to make Congress tell them to bring out the truth, but STEVEN Greer is trying to bring out the fact that the people driving the ships are Chinese, Russian, German, which is ridiculous. I filmed with somebody for many years, UFOs, more than anybody. And we showed those pictures for years until he sold out to the government. But those pictures were real pictures, never faked, created by a machine, AI, or anything. We had one picture analyzed by one of the top companies in New York City that put it on note that it was not created or made by the pixels. They had measured it, infrared, all kinds of lighting, everything. We had a picture of a ship, and you can almost see in the windows. It was a tubular ship. But in the interim, all the pictures we showed on Terry Cassidy's show for 9 months. We put up 5 new pictures every month. Nothing ever happened. And I canceled the show because they wanted $50 a week per show. And I'm not going to pay $50 to do a show that I don't make money on. I mean, if I had lots of money, I would, but I don't. And I didn't. And then we were doing it near the end. I mentioned the person's name and made my friend super angry, and we ended our friendship for a while. Permanently, I should say. At that time, he actually changed UFO world to the spiritual world and claimed he's Jesus' disciple, which is another lie. But again, people, I've been around for a long time. I'm 72. I started when I was 6 years old. All right. And at that time, I was at the point where people I was around, all right, that were being abducted, having their children taken. As I grew into this, I started doing hypnosis at 14. I had my whole neighborhood hypnotized. I was doing that. And then I started going into psychic implant removals. Then I went into past life regression and a whole bunch of different things. But the psychic implant removals, where a lot of people had missing time at that time. I'm talking when I was 20. All right. Missing time was normal among a lot of people, and it was accepted. Oh, I must have dozed off. I must have did this while they were driving in the car with 2 people and all those kind of things. But I worked with them, and I brought them back to the point when they were on a ship or being abducted and things like that. But I work with women, and this is for real, people. I don't lie, period, that actually had their child taken a month before it was being born. And I went to see the x-rays, the sonograms, whatever they were called at that time, and they showed that they were pregnant. And the day after they went back to the hospital, they said, oh, you're not pregnant. There's no signs of being pregnant. after the day before they showed the heartbeat and everything else. So there was always a cover up, always all through time. Now, I'm going to go into a couple of stories because, real stories. I was babysitting the house on Long Island, one of the richest people there who actually designed all the houses on Long Island, multimillionaire. He was traveling a lot, had a beautiful mansion. I mean, a steam room and everything on every floor of the house. He had a swimming pool on top of the house. Well, he went on vacation, and I was in his house for a month. And I noticed a picture. Oh, there she is. All right. All right. So that was my co-host. She's coming on. So during that time, I looked at some of the pictures and stuff. He had some really outrageous artwork. When he came home, he was on tour of some country and stuff like that. And I mentioned UFOs, and we were talking. He was in Long Island with his girlfriend, and they were making love in front of this big glass window in front of the ocean. All right. And he said this ship crashed into the ocean, and they were both burnt from like their whole body. And they called the hospital up. The hospital told them to take 2 aspirins or 3 aspirins and go to bed. And they did. Next morning they woke up fine. But why would a hospital tell 2 people that say they're burnt to just take aspirins and go to bed? So it was already warned by the hospital to tell people to do what they're going to do, to what to do when that happened. It was mind-boggling. And then they pulled out the article the next day in the newspaper about a ship crashing into the ocean. So I've been around multiple people, multiple witnesses that have a really cool story reel. But my best friend, who I knew since I was 11, worked for NASA. And I met him at a UFO conference. And at that point, I said to him, do you want to see UFOs? And he goes, yeah, but the government, they told them not to get involved. And I said, well, do you want to see him? He goes, yeah, I'm going to come over. Hello, you there?
Hello, Tommy. Yes, I'm here in the UK.
Okay, I'm going to give this over to Tina to say hello first. We'll be back.
Hello, Tommy.
Greetings, Tina. I'll let you.
Hi. Yes, I'm here. Hi, Tommy. Guys, double reverberation. Hi, guys. Tina Brown here from Southampton in the UK. Sorry about my absence last week. We had a storm here in the UK and I had no signal. So we've got a signal booster for this week. And I didn't see the message till it was a bit late. So I do apologise for being late today. But welcome to the show today. And it's great being here. I've got some exciting news for this week. But I'll let Tommy continue. Tommy.
So I just wanted to say I'll finish that story. I'm going to get into some. It depends how much time we have. I wish I could stay a long time today, but I have to rush out somewhere after the show. But like when that happened, like this guy was a multimillionaire, and he was good friends with the person that allowed us to stay at his house when he wasn't there. So when I talk about UFO stuff, I've been involved directly with the people, what they did, what they went through, and see their proof. He pulled out the newspaper and showed it to me. So again, why would a hospital turn around and tell people take aspirins and go to bed? If their body's burnt, you wouldn't tell somebody, oh, stay home, just take some aspirins and go to bed. So it was a mind-boggling situation. He said, well, we were fine the next day and nothing was ever done after the article went in the newspaper. But I mean, my stories are much more incredible than that. I want to go into what's really happening, though. But I want Tina to tell her good news, which is good news. Finally, something good at least is happening, at least for her. So you come out and you tell everybody what's going to happen, Tina.
Hi, Tommy. So hopefully, yeah. Hi, guys. I have been invited to speak at the Outer Limits magazine conference this year on Saturday, the 13th of September in Hull. I live in Southampton, so it's 3/4 of the way up the country from me. But yeah, so I will be a guest speaker talking about the human cost of alien abduction. It's this 30th anniversary, I believe, of a fake abduction account. So I'm going there to lay it on the line up there. So I'm looking forward to that. So guys, if you're about on Saturday, the 13th of September this year, please head up to the Outer Limits magazine conference and I will see you there. So it would be my first lecture since last year. It's been over a year now. Since I've been off the UFO scene due to family bereavements and personal issues. So, but it's good to be back after a year. So I'll be out on the circuit speaking and lecturing again as a guest speaker. I'm very honoured to be asked. So thank you, Chris Evers. And so I'll see you at the conference in September. So it is getting somewhere, and I thank you for guys. Some other people bought my book this week, and 2 of them I actually know, and they've asked me to sign the book for them, so I'll be signing the book for them as well, which is a great thing. And there's many good authors out there to read, so thank you very much. And there is always lots to talk about in the UFO world. Back to basics. It's not all about disclosure. I think Tommy will admit and tell you we're way past disclosure now. Tommy.
I just wanted to know, is that going to be on internet or anything? Yes, no, maybe.
I don't know. I presume they do film it. It is filmed for later release. So
okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they will film it. I suppose they're going to release it on YouTube on one of their channels, but I'll let you know when that happens.
So
the other people around.
We got so many things going. Tina's going to try to get hypnotized live, which we're hoping.
I'll get link pins when I'm on the show. Only happens when I'm on the show with Tommy.
Yeah, I know. We got people watching us, that's for sure. And Tina has UFOs over her house all the time, people. It's or anything else. For real. And she puts pictures up all the time. I have UFOs over my house 20, 30 within an hour. So yeah, it's crazy what's going on. I'm going to get into that a little bit, but like I said,
near a volcano. That's probably why.
We have a video came out about a month ago of a ship going up and around the volcano and shooting out into space, and then a big glowing ball was over the volcano. Lots of things happening here. The next couple days later, I saw it myself from my house where the volcano was, and I see this big white globe over the whole thing, and then one ship was going right straight into it. So it's mind-boggling what's going on here in Hawaii. I'm going to get into it. I know the internet's full of lies and stories and make-believe people. I've been dealing with 12 different MUFON people. All right, but again, the people that I'm trying to deal with right now is MUSK. So I have about 8 people claiming to be him, including supposedly him because I was on X when I updated my payment, and he came right on and started talking to me. So his newest ship blew up again, so that's his 3rd ship in a row. All right, let me just take this call real fast.
Okay, so guys, there's lots of other things taken off. I believe Elon's ship was getting ready to fly to Mars, I believe. So I think it was another trial ship ready for Mars. Whether it was a controlled explosion, I don't know. I think the last one was, I'm not sure. But good luck with that. Any space exploration is good, but we need more Earth exploration. I've been looking at some work lately, and I bought Jack Vallet's new book, So I've been there. It is there. Scattered Castles, and this is there's a picture of him on the back. Jacques Vallée. He's well known in ufology. This is the journals of Jacques Vallée from 2010 to 2019. So I've been reading that, and it's very good. It's just about his journals and the places and what they filmed and things like that. But he does touch on a lot of different things, but it's very short sentences, unfortunately. But I really love the book, Jack. Tommy.
All right. There's one little difference between Tina and I. I'm hated by everybody in the UFO world. Tina's friends with a lot of the people. She agrees and works with them and is friends with them. I'm not. I do not make friends with liars. Storytellers are people that have exaggerated stories, which is 90% of the people in the UFO world. I'm talking about the speakers, not the people in it. And the people that are in it saying their experiences are another bunch of phony people that have no story. Right, Tina?
Yes, I hate that word. I really hate that word experience. It doesn't do its justice. And you can have experience going to the shop and eating chocolate. No,
we need the truth. And that's why I'm doing the show the way I do it. And most people come and go because they want to hear the lies. STEVEN Greer is pushing the government, and they're trying to push the truth out. But he's going on and on about everything's just German, Russian, Chinese ships. They're not real. The government's creating fake UFO abduction, invasions. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. And he's got an incredible following.
So in that case, that means then these people from China, America, are guilty of war crimes for radiating people, radiation flying these ships then. Because how else they get radiation poisoning from non-existent ships?
Right. Tina's been exposed to radiation, and she has been dealing with it most of her life now. And it's affecting her greatly. But nobody else talks about that. I had 3 scientists that were supposed to analyze and help analyze the detector that we use and everything else, but none of them will get back to me. Everybody's afraid to go against the government, especially when it comes to alien abduction. Because, and Tina's 100% right about this. They don't want to support anybody that's been abducted. They don't want to pay for them. They don't want to help them. And they don't want the world to know that. Because here's something they cannot. I don't know why my camera's so blurry. I don't know why these people think that the government's ever going to really help us, because they don't, and they don't want to. Well, if they had to pay for all the medical and things that Tina's going through, they don't want to do that. And especially these people that are dying and different things. Family that lose the whole family or half of their family. They're not going to go into the details about that. Like I said, my best friend's whole family was taken out. The only person I knew in MJ12, they took his family out first, and then they took him out. When I was going to see John Ford, who's in the nut house on Long Island, I met with a FEMA person inside, and they were monitoring people. All right, and he said to me, "Don't think about going to see John Ford. They will take out your family, and they will take you out." And this was a long time ago, 1996. All right. 1996 was the worst year for the UFO world, which I mentioned in the very beginning. All right. Lots of UFO people were taken out. The second most important UFO story with Phil Snyder, he was taken out. They claimed he committed suicide, just like Epstein committed suicide. All these people, when they don't like somebody, want to take somebody out, they commit suicide. Well, they're going to probably say that about me when I die. And I'm telling you straight out, I would not commit suicide ever again. All right. For any reason. I need to go out the right way, because I'm planning on not coming back to this world. I don't want karma. I don't want all those things. So, people, when John Ford died, all right, Phil Snyder, they said he was wrapped up in barbed wire and committed suicide. How do you do that? There was no blood there.
And he was tied to a chair, I believe. Someone did release an autopsy picture, a crime scene photo, and he was barbed wire to a chair, like execution. How do you do that to yourself?
But when he first got hurt, when he went I don't want to get into the whole story, but when he was actually shot by an alien, all right, his whole stomach from his throat was ripped open, his hand was chopped off, and his foot was blown out. How do you commit suicide?
You can verify that with the American government, because they lost was it 14 or 17 Delta Force soldiers? They lost a lot of Delta Force soldiers, like a whole group of them in one go.
There was 67 Green Berets that died when he got
there was a
shot.
lot. Yeah, they lost
Right.
a lot of men.
And they weren't told. They were told to go into this base underground, and they didn't know what they were going to face. They blasted a lot of aliens, but they also found 140 skeletons, 140,000 skeletons there.
So they were it was just blasted. Yeah.
So again, people, the truth's there, but the government can't come out and tell you it, and they won't. All right, not unless aliens are walking around on the planet, and then they're not going to tell us what they did with them. That's for sure. But it's going to happen. Aliens are all over the planet right now. They're doing something. They're getting ready for something. I mean, they don't need 8 billion people. Neither does the United States or any other country. So yeah, poor people, middle-class people are not needed. Just so you know, Tina has been going through this, and she's getting no help at all. And I never knew anybody suffer in the way she is, and nobody wants to find out really what's going on. Yeah. How could she be radioactive? How could it happen? Where could it come from? You don't just pick it up in the street or from a wild dog or anything. It's not like that. All right. And her truth and abductions, I mean, that's one thing. But all the proof she has more proof than any other abductee that I know as far as being alive and everything else. Because the operation of her and all the things that they do, the implants in her, all these things that she has, none of these people can. I mean, what's his name was pulling out implants in people. Yes, people get implanted, but nothing's big or important about it because it's just let go. Well, he had a bottle of implants when I met him. Do you remember his name? It's a simple name, but he had bottles of implants and all that.
I remember.
He filmed them and everything else. When he pulled them out, they would start moving down their veins and stuff like that.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
But the truth of all this is not anywhere to be found. And all the UFO people, all they talk about is who could be driving the ship. We know they're not humans because they travel at the speed of light. Human bodies cannot travel at the speed of light or beyond that. I mean, Muazondo, he said he'd come on my show. Well, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get him on, but he also said he put a book out. And he talked about that, about speeds of the ships and everything else. And see, he works for the government, so he has to be really careful what he says and all that. And he said to me, if I come on, you have to let me talk about what I want. I would challenge him anyway if he came on and asked him a few questions, which he would answer. I said, but again, my ex-partner that I do UFO stuff with copyrighted everything we did. We shot thousands of pictures. He copyrighted every single one of them. I can't show them publicly anymore. Can't put them up anywhere. But again, when we talk about truth, there's only a few people that have the real truth and are willing to put it out there. About aliens, about my friend Sean David Morton, one of the most important people in the UFO world. He was the top speaker at most conventions. He was the head of every panel, and he was on Coast to Coast every month. All right.
I believe that American Congress people that get together, like Senator Bashett and the other lady, Luna, and there's another lady, they held a SCIF, which is like a secure room meeting. And apparently they got to the bottom and it was admitted in some form that they do have bodies. I'm not sure if they've asked to see them, but it's come out in one of these SCIFs that so they do know. But the question is, I think we know aliens are real. They've come out and said that. They've come out and said that's old news. But what they're on about more disclosure is, I think, how long they've been here. The government is saying it's origin intent now. So, it's just where they're from and what they're doing. But yeah, sorry, Tommy.
They've been here. The government had an alien in the White House for real.
Valiant Thor.
They worked with Evie as well. And they had to kill him. All right. Now, there's a book you should read, Sands of Time. Now, Sean David Martin wrote a couple books, and his books are the most important UFO books written because he explains from the beginning to now. And in the interim, they arrested him with 150 false charges, put him in jail. He was a sovereign citizen. He wasn't allowed to have a lawyer. He couldn't speak in court. And then on top of that, they were torturing him and doing all kinds of things to him in jail. And then he was dying, but they didn't want to kill him, so they let him out. And he spent 2 years of his life not eating, cancer from his throat down. They were trying to blind him. They were trying to pull his teeth out. They were doing everything they can to him. But he did die Christmas. But at the same time, that year, I was supposed to do a movie with my nephew, with my good friend at the time. All right. We had an alien preserved. We had a ship in a lake, and we were going to do a movie. Funny, my nephew who was going to do the movie came down with throat cancer. The person I did my show with was also terminated. All right. Not John Ford, sorry. But in the interim, the movie never got made. Storm was going to be involved, and that never happened, and the whole thing crashed. So the alien is still frozen on ice. The ship's still in the lake, and I don't have the money to get involved with that anymore. The two brothers, the one brother died, and the other brother says I don't want to deal with it. But his story is incredible, and I could go into his story, which is mind-boggling because he actually had to kill a Bigfoot. So the stories that I deal with, the people that I deal with, are real. The facts are real. They have proof. I mean, it was in the front pages of the newspaper. There was an alien tribe of Bigfoot living Bigfoot in the woods there, but the one went rogue and killed a little girl, and he had a tiger, and they searched for him, and they got the Bigfoot and killed him. But see, people, it was public for about a week. Everything that goes public for a week that's real disappears right away. All right, and in the UFO world, very little truth comes out, and the UFO people everybody could see a ship. I could tell you. I read a book, not a real book, but what do you call it? A file that you can pull up and read how to see a UFO. All right, anybody could see a UFO in a week if they tried. That's how bad it is right now. You don't have to be once in a lifetime. I had to see thousands in my lifetime already. So
I can't understand why people have not questioned the amount. I mean, surely, if you just look at military strategy, the amount that's been seen, like over, is it Picatinny Arsenal in America, and all over these bases here in the UK as well. I mean, it's either tantamount to pre-invasion. I'm not being, you don't want to scare people, but these are war tactics, or something serious is going to happen to the earth, like an implosion, explosion, volcanism, whatever's going to happen.
Our volcano is going off crazy.
Something is coming. Something seriously is coming. They either know. They either know what to witness it.
The past month, we had more earthquakes over 5.0. We had 9 yesterday in one day. And we had a major wave in the past 3 weeks of giant earthquakes in scenario around the Ring of Fire. So something is going on.
Big one in Hawaii. They said it was shooting out lava into 1,000 feet at one.
Well, our volcano's always going off now. It's on the verge. They said it could erupt really bad. They're not sure yet what's going to happen. But I had friends here when I first came to Hawaii. I had a Rasta friend, and he said, "Come to my house. I want to show you pictures of ships going in and out of the volcano." And I went.
I love volcanoes. Yeah, they're
I'm talking 20 years ago. Yeah. All right. So they're not like us, and they're not human, and they're not humans from the future, which some super new age, I call him a new age fool, but a big name in the UFO world just put out a video last week that they're us from the future. Well, the Pelagians are us from the future. All right. That's one race, but there's 9 races here. All right. I'm talking about the bad ones.
It's the difference between a goat and an elephant, but they both have 4 feet, a tail, and a head. These things I've seen, exactly like I said, bipedal, 2 legs, 1 body, 2 arms, and a head.
I mean,
they don't have hair, so
UFOs and aliens and everything, but he screwed himself because he made a fake video, and then he had famous people come into his house and all these things, wanted to buy him out, and even Fred Bell brought him to California. All right, and Sean David was with them, and they saw ships over California. But people, when you do something stupid, it destroys your name. And he made a fake alien ship, and when the press came out there, they saw that. And then when they see his videos of ship going around in a circle over a tree, why would a ship go a circle around a tree? So he faked a lot of stuff, which was pretty sad. He came out with 100 prophecies. 98 of them came true as of like last year. So the alien race did give him a set of prophets. He was working with, he called them the Pleiadians, but they looked like us with super wild hair and everything else. But uh, again, he came out with a couple other stories about Judas, who actually supposedly killed Jesus and all that. And he found the book of Judas and all. I mean, he came out with a lot of different things, but his credibility went zooming down. People in the UFO world, the second you do one lie, it takes away your credibility. All right, you don't have credibility anymore. Tina has everything provable, everything she
What is it?
experienced.
People gain. They just want attention. Why would
Well,
you want attention in the UFO world? People reach out because they need help. They need help with medicine. They need help with an issue or problem. You know
they
that
want to
I
make
don't know.
money.
That, it just takes. Yeah, yeah. And there's real
People like
people, real suffering with everyday people
people that
stories.
I have a grudge against is people like Richard Dolan, his wife. I mean, and these people that make tons of money, all right, and all they can say, I think this, I think that. If I told you everything I think, it'd be crazy. But I tell you what I know for fact. All
I
right,
know. I
aliens are
know.
real. Bigfoot's real. All right, these things that people, well, maybe could be, and all that. Uh, and how do you write a book about Bigfoot unless you're standing next to a real one? I knew Sasquatch people book, and the person that wrote that, Keone, he said he worked with Bigfoot for 40 years and married a woman who said she's working with Bigfoot, and they help heal and all this. I said, yeah, well, where's the proof? He goes, well, I got 100 people. I said, I got over 1,000 women that I know have been abducted and lost their child. All right. I mean, none of them wanted to write a book. None of them wanted to come out public. None of them did. You know, when something like that happens, like Tina's one of the few people coming out full force with what she did. I had another friend who did, who I was working in UFO world. He said he killed 18 grays. All right. Now, he was taken out 2 years ago as well. Uh, there's a time frame, I don't know when, wow, but I know I lost 16 people in the UFO world, good friends, mostly friends or good
Yeah,
friends.
there was seemed to be a bit of a culling a few years back. All people were dying as ufologist, a researcher. That black goo
You know
coming out
why?
of his mouth. He was an
Do you know
English
why?
guy,
Do you know why?
and then you had other people. There was a loads shut them up because they were getting
The
close to the
reason
source.
why is they were telling the truth. People like STEVEN GREER, I don't know who's working with him. The government, secret government, aliens, who knows who he's lying about to put the lies out. But he's making money. All right. When he first came out, I was lecturing in '96 for global sciences. We were lecturing every year. And I had a friend who was working with a person, Almeen Barton, a high spiritual woman, and he was her bodyguard. And he says, I'm doing tracking on this STEVEN GREER guy, checking his hospitals where he supposedly worked and what he supposedly did.
I was supposed to
Couldn't
be
find
medical
one record
doctors.
of him. And then suddenly had all this money and he became the head of the UFO organization on disclosure and blah, blah, blah. Well, we never disclosed anything really important. Then he came out with a story many years later that he met with an alien, and it's all lies, people. And I'm telling you straight out, he can't prove one thing he says. Never mind what he's saying is ridiculous. Uh, but we have a problem. He's not the only one. Like I said, these other people, these top speakers, are writing stories and coming out with, oh, all aliens are really us from the future. They're not ugly look. I said, did he ever meet a real alien then? I mean, they're not all looking like us. Not all of them. Very few are. The Greys, the Reptilians, the Nordics. I mean, the Nordics are a little bit closer, but they're big. We're not even that big. I mean, tall whites. Then you got the mantis. The mantis don't look like people at any level. You know, when they go on, there's 5 alien grays.
Yeah, but we do
Grays.
live with insects in our world. I mean, if
Well,
you were an ant and you looked at an elephant, you wouldn't believe it. But they're different species of ants and insects, but they're on a smaller scale. If you lived on a heavier planet, it's possible.
I can go on with the people that I grew up with and stuff. People like she was working with a race, and her daughter was even taken on a ship with her. And I got to talk to her daughter privately because I wanted to see what she would really say. Well, I was on a ship, and they taught me how to shoot fireballs. And she said, I saw the grays, I saw the mantis, and Because, well, there's a mantis on every ship as well now. One of them is usually the leader, captain, and things like that. Not on all ships, but the ships that people that I know worked on, or not worked on, or worked on the ship. All right. But here's the thing, people. They don't do good things. They never did good things for humans. Ever in history. Not one provable thing. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs all work with alien races, not gods and deities and things like that. And they were all told ridiculous things about the body, what they did to skeletons, what they did to the person when they died, cutting their skull open, ripping their brain out, and breaking it into to what? Reincarnate back into a body that's all mangled? I mean, all these things about immortalizing a body to come back into, all of them are lies they were fed by alien races. Now, their hieroglyphics, their wall drawings and stuff all prove their stories are lies. Unless you're spiritual, you won't know it. Oh, that's how they die. That's what you do. No, you don't reincarnate into a body that's mangled and twisted and dead and dried out and gone. All the things that they believed in were lies. All right. And who taught them? The races that came here were never helping the human race, and they still don't. Oh, well, if they wanted to destroy us, they would. They might, but they don't need to destroy us right now. They love what they're taking from us. And I'll give you the five things or four things that they do take: blood, semen, ovaries, all right, food, which is human food, all right, which is what they come here for. Nothing else. Not for our brains, not for our spiritual truth, not for anything we make. And the old stories that they came here to make us make mine gold. The most ridiculous story that Zachariah Sitchin put out, all right, they made gold way before that. Because if you go through all of our history, all the kings, everybody always had gold. If they wanted it, they could just take it. I mean, but again, people, man likes to write stories. All right. If they become powerful, they make bigger stories. Like the Egyptians had their teachings, but again, who is the foundation of a lot of teachings? Supposedly the Anunnaki, another fake story. They were never good. They didn't create humans. All the stories that Zachariah Sitchin brought out, a lot of the UFO people believe it and believe he was a great writer, and he translated their
I
scripts
quite
and
like
stuff.
some of Zachariah Sitchin's work.
But it's all lies, people. All right, they're not coming back. They won't come here to help us. Realize the reptilian race, the Greys, the Nordics are the most powerful evil races here.
Today
Nobody,
can't help themselves, let alone help aliens.
they help themselves, and nobody can stop them, and nobody will. So the government does know how to kill aliens. Uh, See, when now here's the thing: when EB was working with the government, all right, before they had to kill him, he was giving away a lot of information. What actually kills Greys? What actually kills reptilians? So they got weapons designed for that. So, but again, their ships are incredible. We can't take them down in a second, which they can't. I did see two ships get blown out of the sky here in Hawaii. All right, but again, another ship came here and it went across the sky, and they said, "Oh, it's space debris." The cover-ups are ridiculous. Just by the movement and where they go and what they do is mind-boggling because it's all lies. But Tina, I don't know how long you can stay. Uh,
I'd go to. Well, I keep freezing. Sorry, I keep freezing my end. I have terrible signal. Only happens on the show, but I'm gonna go now. But
well,
I
no,
will
wait,
be
Tina.
back
Before you go, let
next
me give it
this
over.
time.
Let me give it back over to you. Promote your book. Promote everything you can before you leave. Okay.
So, guys, I'm so sorry about the signal. The last few weeks has been absolutely terrible, and it only happens when we do our show, and it just seems to get worse. Oh, I do apologise. But yeah, so rerun a few things. I want to thank Tommy. We've been doing this show now a few years, but this is my book. It's called The Bonded: The Truth About Alien Abduction. There it is. There, me, T.A. Barrett. There's my IBSN number on the back. Again, I'll say it's this big because we were due to put pictures in it, and even Amazon couldn't get pictures in it in the end, so it came out that big. I've got to have another bit of news which isn't too good. Amazon has said that I need to put my books up by £3 for me to maintain 50% of my profit. So, and Amazon have the rest. So from June the 10th, I believe they're going up to £13, which is the lowest I'm allowed to sell them for now. And that's not me, that's Amazon. So, guys, get them now then before they go up. So they're £10 at the moment. The book. That's simply it, and it is just a book about. There's nothing made up, nothing extra. It's just what I've seen, not what I've heard. It's exactly what I saw and what has actually happened to me. And this is it. It's called The Bonded: The Truth About Alien Abduction. I do have another book, The Guardians of the Light and The Brotherhood of the Night. Again, they are free on Amazon. So if you have Amazon Unlimited, a Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free. So you can get this for free. So you don't even need to buy it if you have the Amazon Kindle package. A lot of people do now. So read it for free. Make the most of it. You can get it for Amazon Kindle as well, and you can also buy it in paperback for £10. So if you're ever about, get one. I'll get them before they certainly go up. And I'll be out. So if you guys want to come and see me, anyone here in the UK, on the Saturday, the 13th of September, I'll be at Hull at the Outer Limits magazine conference, and I'll be there. It's going to be a great day. It's a one day. It's only a one day. One day, everyone will be there in the UFO field. So if you want to come and watch a great day of lectures and talks and meet other people from the world of ufology, there'll be the place to go. But again, I'm trying to sort the signal out this end. We have a lot of problems with storms and weather at the moment. But thank you, Tommy, and thank you for you guys. I will see you next week, Tommy. If you messaged me before with a link at an earlier time, it's my fault. I couldn't get a signal. My signal's been terrible.
I'm sorry about that.
Just before the show.
I'm surprised we even got the show out. So what we did, and we'll keep trying. That's the best we can do, people. But Tina, it's always a pleasure.
And you, Tommy, you're great. I love Tommy. Take care in Hawaii. Guys, keep tuning in. Tell us what you like to see and what you don't, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye from me now. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, Tina Burr, great person. She's been going through so much stuff with her abductions and what they did to her and what they left her body with. All right. But she does have UFOs over her house watching her all the time. My eyes are pretty messed up. That helps it a little bit. So, people, when you got any kind of major questions or you want answers, email me, hawksblood1@aol.com, HAWKSBLOOD1 at AOL, and I will get back to you on that question. I've been putting the show on MUSK, all his sites. Just so you know, his other ship just blew up, so that's his third ship in a row. I told him he needs a new job, new business, everything else. Again, I want to work with him because he doesn't know much about the real Tesla, what happened, and the number, anything really about UFO stuff that really went down. But again, people are into money more than anything else. When they want to shift their attention to more important things like children, saving the world, saving the planet, or doing anything good is a different thing. But without that being said, I'm going to have to cut the show short. I'd like to go on a lot more about this. I wanted to, but Tina came in late and then a couple of things. So we will get into it. I probably will do another show. Today is Thursday. By or over the weekend. Not sure if it's going to be more spiritual than UFOs, but I do both. And the truth is, people, we're in trouble. The world's in trouble. The people that are controlling it are pretty serious about destroying it at every level they can. Whether we're going to be able to pull through this in any good way is mind-boggling. I don't think it's possible. But something freaky could happen. Trump could magically disappear. But I'm not wishing for miracles like that. Because he's got his own karma to deal with. And as long as you create karma, you stay here. Only when you're ready to give it up, you have a possibility of leaving and going to a better place. But I know you might not believe in Satan and things like that, but somebody's controlling the dark side here. And it's not God. And it's not Jesus. It's not anybody else. So people, get ready for an incredible wave happening. And it's going to happen within 4 years. So, and Trump just happens to be in power during that time. The Pope was taken out during that time frame. So the new Pope, everybody said there wouldn't be a new Pope. They already put a new Pope in there. So, but the old Pope was trying to rearrange history for religion. So, things are happening at every level. Where are you going to be when it all crashes, you're going to be able to fight. You're going to be able to stand strong. Who knows? You can't run. You can't run from it. You're going to need money. You're going to need to eat. You're going to need medical. All the things that could disappear. What are we going to do? Well, the union was created by a fight and war. And if people don't learn to stick together, face the truth, realize all people are important, not just the American, not any particular tribe of people, Mexican people. I mean, there's people that came here. The Spanish came here, and they're more accepted than anybody. Why? I have no clue. Again, people, it's your time to wake up, face the truth, get ready to deal with some things, and stand for what you feel is right. And hopefully it's the good things. And there are good things we could fight for rather than bad things. Pushing people out of the country, well, the native people would have been so much luckier and better if they kept the white people out and killed them all before they kept coming in, instead of trying to make friends with them when they lost and took everything away. Geronimo's story was horrible. Crazy Horse's story was horrible. But it was what they were doing to the people that made it bad, not the native people. And that followed through into the 1920s, people. So, we respect nobody. And again, look at the facts in history. All wars were created by white people. Think about it. Germany, Russia, what happened, all the wars, what happened to the Jewish people, all these things were white people. Black people, Africa, tribal people and things. There was wars. Oh, there's always wars, but not like what the white people did. I mean, World War I, World War II. Even Vietnam was a strange kind of a war. But with that, enjoy your day. Text me, hawksblood1aol.com. If you got something important to talk about and got any kind of real proof, or we can make it sound real, to me anyway, I can bring you on. I'm trying to bring Lozano on, hopefully sometime in the near future. Maybe also a couple other people. We'll see. I know I wouldn't want to bring certain people on. Musk, I'm trying to change his mind in life because he still wants to go to Mars and all those other things. We don't need it. We need to be taking care of this planet. Thinking running away to another planet is not going to save anybody. Because by the time you get there, there's not going to be anything there that's going to be beautiful and incredible to be there. So it'd probably be better to die here than go to a planet with nothing there. Living on Mars, living on the moon, living in an underground base for what? Go swimming, go skiing, go anything out cool in the ocean? Really? The only thing that's a really fun and enjoyment here, mountains and things like that, forests, do not exist. And if you think you're going to create it fast enough on a planet, it's not going to happen in 25 years. Never mind 50 years. So these people aren't going to be around to do it. Trump will never make it. Musk will never make it either. All right, people. With that being said, we have a world to deal with, face, and we need to be ready and stand by the truth if you can find it. Till next time, love, light, compassion. Whatever you need in your life, don't stop. Make sure it's right. Make sure it's what you really want. Till next time.